In August 1945, the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan became the first and only targets of nuclear warfare. These bombings marked a significant turning point in history, bringing World War II to a devastating close. World War II was a global conflict that involved major world powers, including the United States and Japan. By 1945, the war in the Pacific had reached a critical point, with both sides suffering heavy casualties and seeking a decisive end. The Manhattan Project was a top-secret United States initiative to develop atomic weapons. Scientists, including J. Robert Oppenheimer, worked tirelessly to harness nuclear energy. Their efforts culminated in the creation of two bombs, Little Boy and Fat Man. The decision to use atomic bombs was made by President Harry S. Truman. The aim was to force Japan's surrender and avoid further Allied casualties. On August 6 and 9, 1945, the bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively. The bombings resulted in immense destruction and loss of life, with tens of thousands killed instantly. The atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima was codenamed Little Boy. This uranium-based weapon was the first of its kind used in warfare. Its design was a result of the Manhattan Project, a top-secret United States initiative to develop nuclear weapons. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped Little Boy on Hiroshima. The explosion resulted in unprecedented destruction, leveling the city and causing immense loss of life. This event marked the first use of nuclear weapons in armed conflict. Just 3 days after Hiroshima, on August 9, 1945, the city of Nagasaki faced a similar fate. The atomic bomb codenamed Fat Man was dropped, causing widespread devastation. This second bombing played a crucial role in Japan's decision to surrender. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki left lasting impacts on survivors and the world. They highlighted the devastating power of nuclear weapons, prompting global discussions on disarmament and peace. These events remain a somber reminder of war's consequences. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. The explosion instantly killed an estimated 70,000 people. 3 days later, Nagasaki faced a similar fate, with approximately 40,000 immediate casualties. The bombs obliterated buildings, incinerated landscapes, and unleashed fires that raged uncontrollably. These unprecedented attacks marked the first use of nuclear weapons in warfare, altering the course of history forever. In the aftermath of the bombings, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were left in ruins. Survivors, known as hibakusha, faced severe injuries, radiation sickness, and long-term health effects. The city's infrastructures were decimated, leaving thousands homeless and struggling for basic necessities. Reconstruction efforts began amidst the devastation, but the scars of the atomic bombings lingered. The world witnessed the destructive power of nuclear weapons, sparking debates on their ethical implications. The psychological impact on survivors was profound and enduring. Many hibakusha experienced trauma, grief, and survivor's guilt. The fear of radiation's unknown effects haunted them, affecting their mental health and social lives. Stigmatization and discrimination added to their burdens. The bombings also left a lasting impression on global consciousness, prompting reflections on humanity's capacity for destruction and the urgent need for peace and disarmament. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945 marked a pivotal moment in world history. Before the bombings, Japan was a formidable force in the Pacific theater. Despite heavy losses, Japan showed no signs of surrender. The United States sought a decisive action to end the conflict swiftly and minimize further casualties on both sides. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped the atomic bomb known as Little Boy on Hiroshima. The explosion resulted in unprecedented destruction, killing tens of thousands instantly and leveling the city. It was the first use of nuclear weapons in warfare. 3 days later, on August 9, 1945, the United States dropped a second atomic bomb, Fat Man, on Nagasaki. Nagasaki was a strategic target due to its industrial significance. The bombing caused massive devastation and loss of life, compelling Japan to consider surrender. The bombings led to Japan's unconditional surrender on August 15, 1945, effectively ending World War II. These events highlighted the destructive power of nuclear weapons and sparked global debates on ethics and the future of warfare, shaping international relations for decades. On August 9, 1945, the city of Nagasaki faced unprecedented devastation when an atomic bomb was dropped. The explosion obliterated much of the city, causing massive destruction. Buildings were reduced to rubble, and fires raged uncontrollably. The immediate impact was catastrophic, leaving the city in ruins and its people in shock. The human cost of the Nagasaki bombing was staggering. It is estimated that approximately 40,000 people died instantly, with the death toll rising to around 70,000 by the end of 1945 due to injuries and radiation sickness. The long-term effects continued to claim lives, as survivors suffered from severe health issues. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki played a pivotal role in Japan's decision to surrender. On August 15, 1945, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's unconditional surrender, marking the end of World War II. The overwhelming destruction and loss of life were significant factors in this historic decision, altering the course of history. The use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki remains a subject of intense debate. Some argue it was necessary to end the war swiftly and save lives, while others believe it was an inhumane act causing unnecessary suffering. This controversy continues to provoke discussions on ethics and the use of nuclear weapons. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 left profound long-term radiation effects. Survivors, known as hibakusha, faced increased cancer risks, genetic mutations, and chronic health issues. Studies continue to explore these impacts, providing crucial insights into radiation exposure. The psychological trauma endured by survivors also remains a significant concern. The bombings obliterated vast areas of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, reducing buildings to rubble and causing fires that raged uncontrollably. Essential infrastructure, including hospitals, schools, and transportation systems, was decimated. This destruction severely hampered rescue efforts and left the cities struggling to rebuild in the aftermath, highlighting the devastating power of nuclear weapons. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki had far-reaching global implications. They marked the dawn of the nuclear age, prompting international debates on nuclear warfare and disarmament. The events influenced military strategies and led to the establishment of treaties aimed at preventing nuclear proliferation. The bombings remain a pivotal moment in world history. Today, Hiroshima and Nagasaki stand as powerful symbols of peace and resilience. Memorials and museums in both cities honor the victims and promote nuclear disarmament. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park and Nagasaki Atomic Bomb Museum serve as reminders of the past, educating future generations about the horrors of nuclear warfare.